Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We will begin in a couple minutes' time. Thank you.
Okay, doctor. So there are three dots where it says people, where you see attendance at the top. There are three little dots there, which you can click, and it would say download attendance list. Now, in respect to parents being with their child, yes. Oh no, no, that and that's not the centerpiece. Click on the where you see participants. Be, you click on that, and then you will see people on the right hand side appear, and there are three dots beside an X. Yes, you when you click on those three dots, I could get the down list attendance. Well, well, then yes. It says Alan Alice. Some of them are students' name that they're using. What and so some of them are joining as a guest, so they're just clicking on the link outside, not logging into Microsoft Office itself. But what we can do, we can just simply create a quick survey if you want, and ask them to please identify their child, or maybe if they could just um, I don't know, but we could get it from here, because it's most of them are like, say Marvin Cruz. Let me see Marvin Cruz. Um, this let's see if I could pick up a name for him. Um, Marvin Cruz. No, I could pick up. Okay, it we could get their names. I could scroll over the names. Says status unknown. Some of them we don't see it because they're actually just using the the link itself. But we could see, but we could see their child's ID number inside. Okay. Okay.
Oh, mommy, mute your mic.
Okay, good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, teachers. In the interest of time, we want to make a start. And as usual, we always begin with inviting God's presence in our midst. So this evening, I want to ask God to be a part of this session. I invite His Spirit in this session. I ask for His wisdom. I ask for His guidance as we discuss our students, His children. I ask for His divine intervention that even though we may disagree on some matters, that for the benefit of our children, that we can come together and put all of our differences aside and that we can work at an amicable solution. We know that we are suffering, our students are struggling, parents are struggling, teachers are struggling. We are all struggling because of this pandemic, because of the different circumstances. And each person has unique circumstance. But in spite of the circumstance, we are here today because we are interested in the well-being of our children. So we give God thanks for His presence. We thank Him for health. We thank Him for strength. And if there's anyone who has lost a loved one, we ask for God's comfort. And we know that with God, all things are possible. So we submit ourselves to God. We submit all of them upon comprehensive school to Him. We submit our problems, our troubles, submit everything to Him. And we ask Him to make new wine, to make new wine out of us, and to give us His peace, to give us His comfort, and to give us His reassurance. And to know that we can come to Him in spite of what we have done. He's a loving God, He's a forgiving God, and all He wants is the best for us. So, Father God, thank you very much. Thank you for life. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for our families, and thank you for being God, and thank you for never changing. I invite your presence in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. 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 Alrighty. So we are going straight to the point. The first item on the agenda has to do with outstanding assessments. So as parents, we trust that you have been monitoring your child's work. You have been involved in your child's work. We know some would have been more involved than the others. Where there are situations that you are not unable to help, we know that you have found relatives that you have gone out of your way for the if there's anyone here right now that does not have access to Abacus, I will ask you to please contact Miss Peck and she will be able to reactivate the password so that you could have that access. But if you would go into Abacus, some of your children's report card would show zero, it would show missing assignments, it will show did not submit, it will show did not attend synchronous session. We have been encouraging our teachers to please use the comments. If they put the comments in the session, our parents will be able to know. And at the same time, we are encouraging our parents. We need you. We need you 100% every step of the way. So we want you to be able to go into Abacus often, and then you will see your child's performance and non-performance. Read the comments on the section that the different teachers have placed there. So regarding outstanding assessments, because
It's
we know
unavoidable
that
for here,
it's
guys.
difficult time,
I'm sorry now.
because we know that some people are struggling with data, because we know that different families have different circumstances, as a school, we have decided that we want to assist our students. And how are we going to assist them? We have asked our teachers to open back the assessments, and this is the last time that we're opening back the assessments for those students who did not submit assessments in the first semester. Let me repeat that. We have asked our teachers to open the assessments for those students who did not submit assessments in the first semester. So if your child has an outstanding work, a portfolio that he or she did not do, a project that he or she did not do, a test that he or she did not do, what will our teachers do? Our teachers will open those assessments so that the child has an opportunity to complete the assessment. Now, the teachers have done this before, you know. This will be the second time, and this will be the last time for this particular period that we are doing that. While we did that when we returned from the Christmas vacation, there were several students who did not do anything. Our teachers have a list, and we have a list of students that says we can't reach them for whatever reason. The phone number does not work. One number that we have, we call, and there has been no response. So there's a non-responsive list. And so we want to change that non-responsive list to ensure that we have the students that we can reach. So for the remainder of March, up until the last day of the holiday, which is the 9th of April. So we have from now until April the 9th, 2021. From now until April the 9th, 2021. Those students who have outstanding assessments have an opportunity to complete and submit those assessments. Now, they will not be calling our teachers the Sunday night, and they will not be calling our teachers the Monday morning and say, Miss, Miss. No, 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 that will not happen any at all. We are teaching our students responsibility, and we need your assistance to ensure that our children are responsible. Some of our teachers, the homeroom teachers, have already shared this information. So I am sharing the information again. For those students who have outstanding assessment, they have from now up until April the 9th to complete and submit those assessments to the best of their ability. We don't want anybody to be guessing. The teachers will open the resources on Moodle. So the information will be on Moodle that they can use to complete the assessment. If there's any difficulty, please communicate with the teachers. But be mindful now that school closes on Friday, so our teachers will be on vacation effective this Friday. And it's a well earned and well deserved vacation. So the time for anyone to communicate with our teachers, that time is now. Not during their vacation because they need their break. For their families and for themselves so they could recuperate. So the time to liaise and to follow up with our teachers to go into Moodle and to go into Abacus is now. Not tomorrow, but now. And so we want to ask you then to help our students to pace themselves. Because remember now, they still have second semester work to do. And so we trust that they want the best for that they want the best for themselves, and you also want the best for your child. So you will work with your child to make sure that he or she submits the assessments that are missing. The child has to pace himself or herself. So for most part, they will not have any Easter break because then they would use that Easter break to play catch up and to complete the missing assessment. The time for them to communicate with our teachers is now, not during the Easter break, because it's a well-deserved Easter break. But because we're giving our students another opportunity now, the responsibility now is up to them and up to you also as parents. You have questions, there's something you don't understand, you will need further explanation about an assessment, reach out to our teachers. We are part of the WhatsApp group. Check inside the WhatsApp group, the information is there. Please find the time to communicate and please find the time to liaise with our teachers. I will ask Mr. Castellanos to please show you what the Moodle page looks like. And so for the synchronous sessions and even outside of that, you can go into Moodle and you can ask your child to help you. Have him or her explain the work for you on Moodle. So I will stop right now and I will ask Mr. Castellanos to just walk us through what the Moodle page will look like. So that as a parent, you would know. And as a student, you also know what is it that you will look for when the time comes for you to focus and complete your assessment. And I have Teams, that's what we are using right now. We're using Microsoft Teams. So the Ministry of Education has given this to us free of cost. We're not paying a copper for it. Those of you who have received a laptop, sorry, a tablet, you have access to Teams on the tablet. Your child is not supposed to download anything at all on that tablet. Everything that he or she needs is on it. There's no reason for the child to download anything, any at all. And so when you return, you want to continue using Microsoft Teams, and this is the same platform that we are using. And it is also safe. When I look at it, I see your names. I see Denise Fitzsoul. I see Roselia. I see Ruby. So the student's name will appear so the teachers can confirm that, yes, these people are in my class. So with Microsoft Teams, your child is also safe in the virtual environment. We have had bad experiences where our online system has been hacked. So somebody from outside was able to get in and they were very, very, very rude. But with this, we have that control over it. So I will stop right now and I will allow Mr. Cass to go over the Moodle page. And Mr. Cass, if you could just briefly highlight what I just said in Espanol for me, por favor.
Ok, em, buenas tardes. Lo que dijo lo principal es de simplemente de que nuestro sistema que estamos usando ahorita es el Moodle para dar las tareas o las pruebas para los estudiantes, en donde usted puede tomar control en ver cuáles objetos han hecho, cuál tarea están pendiente y al aspecto de sus hijos, tareas que tienen para hacer. Ahí en el Moodle pueden ver los estudiantes como les voy a mostrar entre un rato, eh, cómo para navegarlo, entrar, ver las tareas que tienen para hacer, las notas y cuándo son pendientes las pruebas también. También estamos usando el Microsoft Teams que fue dado por el gobierno y esto es para más seguridad para nuestros estudiantes, para nuestra escuela también, porque muchos hemos tenido de donde estudiantes se meten que no tienen, que no son de la escuela, pero tomaron acceso al link. Por ejemplo, ahorita se podemos ver quién todos están en la junta. Vemos los estudiantes, los padres con los nombres. Donde podemos identificar quiénes son los que están atendiendo la junta al momento. Y aquí también nos da una lista de qué momento se conectó el padre o también el estudiante. Em, las, las pruebas se van a abrirse para todos los estudiantes. Se van a abrir para todos los estudiantes las tareas para que lo puedan hacerlo los que consiguieron un punto que no está a su favor. Entonces van a tener hasta el fin del mes para terminarlo, para hacerlo. Y estamos pidiendo que los estudiantes lo hagan. Em, entonces esos días, ahorita que tomen ventaja, vean que todo les hace falta y que aseguren que los consigan para poder hacerlos de nuevo las pruebas. Em, entonces, eso es para los estudiantes que no tienen unos puntos a sus favores, ¿no? Entonces, eso es lo que queremos hacer nosotros para que los estudiantes consigan una oportunidad para poder pasar el año. Em, ese aspecto. Entonces, ahorita voy a entrar yo a mostrarles cómo el Moodle Page. Puede verlo usted como pariente y voy a decirlo en inglés y después en español. Okay, everyone should be able to see my page of Moodle. This once a student has entered, so I'm going to be changing. So once a student has entered, they will be seeing the most recent subjects that they have access, and then the subjects that they are taking here at the bottom. Em, este, en este espacio aquí pueden ver las clases que clases más recientes que el estudiante ha tenido acceso y las clases que tiene totalmente el estudiante están aquí abajo. In this part here, we can see also that these are pending assessments that the students have to submit. So this is just in general overall for all the subjects, just a reminder to the student that this is what you have pending for you to be submitting. And here you have a list of who all are actually online on the Moodle page as well. En esto pueden ver todas las pruebas que tienen pendiente el estudiante para entregar, cuándo será es la fecha para entregarlo, la hora, la fecha, y aquí abajo también pueden ver quién todos están en la sistema al momento. So let me go into my first farm subject. Voy a entrar a mi sujeto de primer año. Okay, at this point I am in the process of a student as a profile of a student. Then teachers have their content developed in their page and they have it by weeks. So as you can see, they're gonna have weekly announcements, they're gonna have objectives, they're gonna have content as well, and some practice exercises depending how the teacher or the subject is. They may slightly do it slightly different, but they will have objectives, resources, activities, and assessments for the week. Cada estudiante tiene acceso a esta parte aquí por semana. Tienen los objetivos de lo que va a cubrirse para esa semana, la materia, las actividades también, con alguna prueba que va a ganarles puntos para el estudiante. Se verá un poquito diferente de maestro a maestro, pero la idea está ahí lo mismo, objetivos, materia, actividades y pruebas. Okay? So when a student gets access or is in Moodle, they have assessments to complete. They have activities. They can come here, look at the notes, click on the notes and then do the activities based on the notes and then do the assessments. El estudiante puede ver las notas aquí, puede hacer las actividades que refiere a las notas de que le han entregado y también las pruebas acá también. There are different types of assessments that the students may get. They may get multiple choice, fill in the blank, ones where they will need to download a file to their desktop or their device and then do the work and then upload. Unos estudiantes conseguirán pruebas en donde tendrán que eh, obtener la prueba del internet. Por ejemplo, aquí está una prueba, tendrán que bajarlo y después tenerlo acceso en su equipo, que podrá ser su computadora, su laptop o puede ser su tablet. Cualquier manera tienen acceso para poder hacerlo y después entregarlo digital al sistema. Varios métodos como lo pueden ser las pruebas, puede ser por contestar automáticamente y se dan los puntos automáticamente en ese momento. Depende del tipo de tarea. Ahora, so now if your child is doing their work, there should be a grade which is accumulating in Moodle. So the grades which are accumulating for a child, it is right here on this left hand column where it says grades. En este momento, cualquier estudiante que está haciendo sus tareas en Moodle, van a ver aquí en esta columna aquí a la izquierda, donde dice grids, son los puntos, podrán acceder a activarlo para ver todos los puntos que el estudiante ha recibido. En este punto mío, yo soy como un estudiante ahorita, como estoy solo demostrándolo, no tengo ningún punto metido aquí, pero les voy a mostrar cómo es que trabaja esto. At this point, I do not have a grade here because I am acting as a student profile or what the student should be able to see. The student comes here, clicks on grades, and a grade book opens for the student. Okay, these are the assessments that the student has received, and here is where the student would be seeing their grades. Because I am as a student, I'm actually a teacher, I do not have any grades here because this is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so para demostración solo estoy mostrándole que aquí están las pruebas de su hijo o hija. Aquí es donde van a tener sus puntos que han conseguido ellos. Aquí están de qué puntos se ha calculado. En esta manera no muestro nada porque solo soy un estudiante, pero soy maestro. Entonces aquí no va a haber nada, pero para su hijo aquí podrá verlo. Entonces si una tarea ya pasó la fecha, usted podrá ver que no se le agregó ningunos puntos. Entonces puede ver cómo se puede hacerse ahí y puede tomar control para controlar más mejor sus hijos si están haciendo las tareas. So at this point you could see if the child is doing the assessments or not and have they been getting their grades. Obviously if you have no grades in grade 1, no grades in grade 2, but you got grade 3, something must be wrong here, so the child might not have done this too. So entonces de esta manera si su hijo no tiene prueba en tarea número 1, número 2, pero en número 3, quiere decir que él no hizo estos dos o algo pasó ahí. Entonces aquí llama para punto de investigar, ¿no? Entonces ahí es donde debe que usted pedir que si pueden darle una explicación en qué ha pasado ahí. Ahora estos son para los puntos. Ustedes como padres tienen acceso a esto con los códigos de sus hijos para poder entrar a la cuenta de su hijo en Moodle y también en Abacus, que es el grids, el libro oficial de los puntos de sus hijos. Eso es más o menos de la programa acá y estamos yendo por semestre. Depende cuando ya empezó el segundo semestre, va a ver que hay algo que demuestra la diferencia. You will see a difference when it says first semester and second semester as well as in the grade book. So you will see the objectives there as well. Okay, and this goes practically for all of the subjects. Again, some teachers may have pictures here. They might have it slightly different, but the concept is the same thing from one to the next. Objectives, resources, activities, assessments, they just adjust it based on their subject. um, I believe that's about it for Moodle. But remember, we ask that you please check with your students, with your children, and ensure that they do have their grades already input, or whatever grades that they have, which is not favorable to them. Le pedimos que chequeen con sus hijos si qué puntos están favorables o no están favorables, y que vean cómo se van a poder hacer, porque las pruebas se van a abrirse para los estudiantes, y es la segunda vez que estamos haciendo esto para ayudarlos. Okay. Okay, I think that's about it, Dr. Arzu.
Any parent has any question regarding Moodle? Do you think that we need to organize a session for parents on how to navigate through Moodle? Do you think we need to have a session for you, specifically for parents, strictly on Moodle? And I'm asking that because even when we return to the classroom, we will still be using Moodle. So Moodle will stay with us. It will be a part of our learning management. It is our learning management system. And so our teachers will continue to post work on Moodle. And we want you to be able to know exactly what is it that your child is doing. So do you think then that we would need to have some session specifically on Moodle so we could walk parents through Moodle, we could help parents navigate Moodle? Comment from anyone, from any parent. You could just unmute your mic.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh,
Okay,
Um,
thank you very much.
good evening. It's an excellent idea because a lot of the parents won't know how to use it, and so they won't be able to assist their child. But if they're familiar with what it is about and how the child can get on and be able to get the assignment, then they will be better be able to help their child. So I think it's an excellent idea, Miss Arisi.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other parent want to contribute?
Definitely, I think it's a great idea because it's a learning experience for all of us. No, it's something new, and definitely, it would be great if we could get that assistance.
All right, thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just did check about my Kevin Vicente. He may do all his homework and everything, but the point is he may can't find the link, right? And then when they send the report, he failed math and English, but he may have everything perfect homework and everything, but the reason why he never put it in because he may can't find the link. So what he need to do about that? Because we check all his homework and everything perfect.
Okay, thank you very much for your question, and that is a very good question. Whenever you have an issue with any particular subject, I always encourage parents to reach out to the subject teacher. Yes, we have had issues where students can't find the link. Our teachers have the link on Moodle. Our teachers also post the link in the WhatsApp group. And
Mm-hmm.
even though the link is on Moodle, we have had instances where students keep asking just before class, Maestro, send the link, Miss, send the link, Sir, send the link. So I want you as parents to help us to help our children to be responsible for their link. So I will repeat that. If you have an issue with a subject, please find the subject teacher and communicate with the subject teacher.
Yes,
How do you
because
find that subject teacher? If you check in the WhatsApp group, the teacher information will be there. Regarding the link, and that's why I asked about the training, so you also know about the link. The link is posted on Moodle, and most of our teachers have the link at the very top. It's the same link that they would use. And the link is also in the students' class. So I would just encourage you, please check with the homeroom teacher and, sorry, check with the subject teacher and follow up with the subject teacher.
Yes, because he feel the two important subject, math and English, and
Yes,
then he
ma'am.
can't find the way how to send it, and then everything he have perfect, right? But the point
Yes,
is
I
when
understand.
I'm saying math and English, then say that he feel, but we just want to know if he could find where to submit and how to find a way.
Right. And that's the reason why we will also have the training. So as parents, you will also know. So
Mhm.
just touch base with the subject teacher and explain the situation to the subject teacher. And one of the things that we
Creo que ya
always
les hemos
want to
preguntado y
encourage
hasta ahorita
as
no nos han dado. Decirle que ya le hemos preguntado y ni una de las dos maestras nos ha dado
Um,
respuestas.
my sister, excuse me, sorry. My sister already talked to the teacher, but nobody respond to her.
A las dos maestras, a la de
Yeah.
inglés y a la de math, ni una de las
what
dos me ha
class
dado.
is Kevin in?
Excuse me?
What class is Kevin in?
Neri, pásame una pluma, por
What
favor.
class? ¿En qué clase está Kevin?
O déjalo.
Second,
Habla, ¿en qué
Second
clase
year.
es?
second grade, miss.
All right, thank you very much. So I will look into it and then I will call you. Could you just give me your phone number?
The 630-7184.
6307184.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And give me your name, please.
Qué famoso.
Johanna Raimundo.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ramondo. I will touch base with you sometime during the week about this.
Okay, miss. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Okay, good.
I
All
have a
right, so
question, Dr. Arzu.
yes. Sure, go ahead.
The question is, my son has misplaced his password for Abacus. How do we go about getting his password so that we can also get into Abacus to look at his work?
All right. I am going to type in Ms. Tech's number in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
And then please communicate with Ms. Tech. She's the person who does the resetting of
Okay.
the password in Abacus.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for asking that question. And the same goes for the other parents. If you don't have access to Abacus, it's important. Please check with Ms. Tech so that you know that you have that access to Abacus. Thank you very much for your question.
I just have a comment. I want to encourage our parents. Each my child is in first year, um, and as a parent, I join all the WhatsApp group because all the teachers they have a WhatsApp group specifically for their subject. So that is a good way for you to be able to monitor your child. I'm not there with my child all the time. I have to be at school because I'm also a teacher as well as a parent. But as soon as the message comes in, I see. Sometimes I see even before he sees. And that's where it's like a check and balance. I'm not where I'm there to check him to see did you have any assignment, did you do that project, did you do that quiz, did you do that test. And then also I have an excellent relationship with the swimming teacher. And so if there's something I don't understand, I try to reach the teacher. If I can't, then the homeroom teacher helps as well. And so you try to get to join the WhatsApp group and you don't have to be active there, but then whatever message the teachers send, because I see these teachers working hard. I see them sending these reminding students about work that they're supposed to do or send in. But if you the parent don't see, sometimes the child won't tell you. But if you are in the group, then you will see every message that that teacher sent to each specific subject. And then bear in mind that they have more than one class. So sometimes as parents, we have to find the best possible way. So for that, for me, I join all the WhatsApp group, the subjects that my son is in. And I'm also, if I have an issue with anything I do, I contact his homeroom teacher. He's very supportive and helpful. And the WhatsApp group for each subject. So that's an excellent way for parents to be able to monitor to see exactly how their child is doing, what work they have missing, and stuff like that.
Hi,
Amen,
good
amen. Thank you
morning.
so very much.
I would like also to commend my son from first year six. She always is on top of things, reminding parents about the upcoming quiz that will soon close or whatever assignment needs to be uploaded. She's always sending reminders, so it is very good that she does that. And it would be good if other teachers would do that too, because sometimes we as parents won't have the time to be checking Moodle every minute to see how they are doing. And often the thing happens that the quiz closes and the child doesn't do it. And then after that closes, there is no other way for them to do it. So it is a good thing that she is doing, and I commend her for that.
Thank you very much. And I want to
Good
echo what
afternoon.
just give me
Good
1 minute.
afternoon, Dr.
Oh,
Arzu.
yes, go
Some
ahead.
parents are messaging me that they're trying to get into the meeting. Several
Okay.
parents are in the waiting rooms. Could you kindly let them in, please?
Thank you so very much for that.
No problem.
Good afternoon. Um, I just want to say that this Alenchon mom, I just want to recommend that yes, it is true that some of the teachers say that when the children attend the session and some of them don't attend the session, I would really appreciate like all the rest of the teachers say the same thing. If my daughter don't attend any session, to let me know that she don't attend, and I would have really appreciate it, because like how the other parents say that we don't have much time, and I would appreciate that then teachers send a message, that your children don't attend, and let me know what's happening. But regardless of that, like, yeah, I appreciate that the teacher recommend that, say that the children don't attend the session, and them things. Then I really appreciate that all the teachers do the same thing. So all I want to say, thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Kakamo, and then Chan. Just give me 1 minute. I want to emphasize that this communication is a two-way street. I can appreciate all of those parents who said, yes, I commend these teachers because they send the information and they keep on reminding, and that's what our teachers have been doing. But remember now, it also work on the parents' behalf also. So saying that as a parent, I am busy and I don't have time, that is not going to work. It's not going to work. This is new for all of us. And we understand that you are struggling. For me, I had to learn all of this. And I am still learning, and I even mess up big time sometimes. But that is okay because I'm learning from that. But I want to echo what one of the parents said earlier, that parents also have a responsibility. Now, our teachers, they have one class is made up of 30 and they teach seven classes. So that's like what, 200 and something kids that we are talking about. So it's tiring for them, but they also go the extra mile. So I will repeat again, let's do this both ways. So let's not say that I am busy as a parent and I don't have time. That is not going to work for us any of us. We have to sacrifice and we have to find the time. But thanks for your comments. Karkamo, please go ahead, and thank you very much for using the raise a hand feature. We're learning this too. There's a raise a hand feature. If you want to say something, you raise your hand, and then I will acknowledge you. I don't know if it's rise or resay, but just go ahead, please, and then you could move it.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, yes, we can hear
Yes,
you. Go ahead.
I have a, there's a concern. My kid's tablet malfunctioned over the weekend. I took it to school on Monday, but I haven't received any update regarding it. I understand you guys are going to be closing this week. And then how will it be possible for him to do the missing work that has been opened back again? Is there any possibility that we can get an update regarding the replacement? Hello.
Thank you very much for that question and very valid question. And yes, we have been encouraging parents that if something is wrong with the device, they should not experiment with the device any at all. The first order of business is to take the device to school. But understand also that we do not have permission to open the device. So what we do is that when you fill out that list, we submit the device to Ministry of Education. They have their tech team that does the operation on those devices. So in the meantime, all I could advise you, if you have a phone, try to work as best as possible with that particular phone until we could get back that device from Ministry of Education. We don't open it, we don't keep extra devices at school any at all. All we have is the devices for our students. So when you take that to us at school, we in turn submit those to ministry. Their technical team does the operation on them and then they return them to us. So I am aware of your concern. You have a very valid concern. We are going out on vacation. You want to make sure that your child does his or her work. This is a difficult area. As much as you possibly can, see how you could navigate with that cell phone. And we have to find a way to manage somehow. So we just have to wait. And then I will let you know as soon as that comes back from ministry. And if it does before the
Okay.
holiday, I will make sure I follow up with them so that I give you a response before we close on Friday. And even if when we close on Friday, the office will still be open for part of the duration of the holiday because the staff does not go on vacation. So the office will still remain partly open. So thank you very much for your
Thank you.
question. All right. Elbridge Chan, thank you very much. Your question.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Well, they're not really a question. I just wanted to,
Okay.
I wanted to share same sentiments as the lady mentioned earlier, previously, regarding to my son. I mean, I've been working along with her, and also with some other teachers. But I need to commend her because I mean, she's been on top of things. I work. I mean, I totally agree with you that we cannot find any excuse whereby, oh, we've got to work, we don't have time. I know, I agree with that. We need to find time, right? But I just wanted to ask that, because I don't have all my daughter's teacher's contact number, and I had asked several times, that, if I can get their number so they can add me, I can add them to my contacts, so I can keep in touch, similar to how I do with my son, right? Because then, yes, I work, but then I still keep check on my daughter's, how she's doing in class, right? My number is 160190. So if you could get that across to my daughter's, her name is Mayeli. She's in second year. So if the teachers that actually teach her can add me to their WhatsApp, I would really appreciate that. No, that's about it.
Thank.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Also, thank you very much.
Okay, good evening, Miss. I
Hi.
just
Good
want to,
evening.
hello, hello.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I just want to recommend Miss Son. Miss Son, I don't have no problem with she because she, I could say like she type of things. She let me know if my daughter behind time, if my daughter is failing or she's not doing good. She's a wonderful teacher. I can't complain about her because she always remind me, your daughter is behind, your daughter need to do this, their daughter need to do. I recommend her. So I just want to wish all the teacher was like that, please. I just recommend Miss Son. I cannot go wrong about Miss Son because Miss Son is a miss. Your daughter is her her subject is behind. You need to, then things there. But man, my son, I can't complain about my son because my son always remind me because as a parent, you're always busy working or doing such a things, but she remind parents. That's all I could recommend my son. She's a wonderful teacher. So please, teachers, all the
Thank
teachers,
you.
I recommend be the same
Thank
like
you.
her.
Thank you
No
so, so
problem.
very much. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
So I will
Um,
go down the line based on those people who have their hands up. Pat Funes, go ahead, please, and then Iris.
I just want to commend all the teachers, especially those for first year six. But however, I kind of disagree with some of the other parents because I feel like it's our responsibility for the students to they're our kids, so it's our responsibility that our kids should submit their work. It's not their teacher's responsibility to be behind them. They're our kids, not their teachers' kids. And also, the students must learn responsibility and they must show level of maturity. I don't think we as parents should throw all the blame on
Se
the
paró ese
teachers. Like,
golpe aquí.
why don't the teachers remind us? It's not their responsibility. And teachers also have a life. I mean, they have kids. Teaching is their job. So imagine the stress that they're under. So I don't think that the teachers should put on that additional weight on them. I mean, the ones that do it, it's fine, but we shouldn't expect the teachers to be behind our kids every time. We as parents should put up our part, and we can't say, oh, we're too busy. We should never be too busy to be our kids' parent because at the end of the day, they're our kids and we want the best for them as well as the teachers. But we are the ones who must put interest from our part. We shouldn't, if we can't put interest on our part, how will we expect the teachers to put interest on their part? So, like you said, it's a two-way street. The teachers must we must meet the teachers halfway and the students as well. We can't baby our kids.
Amen. Thank you very much for the words of encouragement. Thank you so very much. Iris, go ahead, please.
Good evening,
Yeah,
parents
we
and
can't be
Dr.
babying our
Arzu.
kids because they're already in high school and when they go in,
Should I start? There was another parent who's
sorry, are you
talking.
hearing me?
Hello.
Dr.
Hello.
Arzul, I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, I am so sorry. Yes, Iris, go ahead, please. My mic was muted.
1 minute though, if
Oh,
I may
sure,
interject. Sorry, Miss Iris.
sure,
1 second.
sure, sure.
I'm a teacher also, and I have several different things I need to get done during the day, but my homeroom is my priority, and my class is there also as a next priority. So and then as parents, I do assume that you have many priorities in your life, and to get everything settled is difficult. As a teacher now, I expect certain level of maturity from my students. I expect a certain level of expectations from them. I would address them if they're not fulfilling those expectations. For example, coming to class on time. I have students coming to class 1 hour after the class is almost over. I have students who are entering the class and then leaving the class like less than 1 minute just to say that they are present in the class. I have other students entering the class and simply just turn on their mic and leave it at that and walk away from the camera and never shows their face again. The meeting would be over and the students will still be there. The camera will be there. Nobody will be behind the camera. So just my 2 cents there. Thank you. Go ahead, Miss Iris.
Thank you, Miss Iris.
Thank you, parents and all teachers.
Miss Iris will speak now. Could the other person please mute the mic? Miss Iris has the mic right now. Thank you.
All right, well, good evening. I just wanted to reiterate again and just actually add to what one of the parents already mentioned, commending some of the teachers for actually providing a list of the um, students that participate in the online classes, well, the virtual meetings, no? Yes, I know Dr. Arzu mentioned this, and we shouldn't be too busy for our children. Their education is very important to us, but sometimes we do get caught up, and having that little message there coming in and showing, because we might not be at home at the time when the class is being held. um, and that helps us be able to keep track whether they are participating or not. So maybe we come for lunch and we check on them and they say, okay, you didn't, your name was not, you were not present, what happened, oftentimes for the past few weeks I've had some challenges with my son personally. He keeps telling me I can't log in. They are not accepting me on the class, or I couldn't log in for whatever reason. I know particularly for a couple, I think this week you guys had some challenges with Moodle, but I don't think that it was something that was reoccurring from before. So again, that message coming in from the teachers saying, these are the students that were present, can help us keep track. So if all the teachers, and I know this is a lot to us, would be able to share that, I would really appreciate it. And from the sentiments of other parents, I think they would as well. Um, so that would be one thing. The other thing, again, with regards to that, would be that some of the links, I don't know if they have changed, and I do know that in first term they had sent an Excel with the time and the days when they would have those live sessions. So if it wouldn't be too much to ask from from the teachers, if they could, I know Miss Barrientos, she actually sent that, so thank you for that, Miss Barrientos. So maybe if it wouldn't be too much to ask, if the meeting would, the link wouldn't change, and if again that could be provided,
Action info
I
go
think
by.
for me it would really help, because then I wouldn't
Call
have
host right now.
to guess, well, if the link was changed, or if it's really something that perhaps he missed the link. And then I know that, again, some teachers did have a chat group for some particular classes, and then kids would be like, I can't log in, and I am part of that chat group, and I get a lot of notifications sometimes. So that would just avoid all of that.
You want to go
um,
back and geometric set
but
the
yes, thank you
markers
teachers for
for
trying
Javier?
your best. It has been really quite
Bring me
a
my bag,
challenge.
please. Oh, right there,
I
right
think
there, right there.
everybody, at the beginning was overwhelmed, but now we're getting there a little bit. I am more comfortable with Moodle now, being able to navigate
Amen.
it. I think at the beginning you guys mentioned doing the parents actually doing a training, and although I feel comfortable with it, I wouldn't mind, because we never we never know too much, no?
Okay. All right, thank you so very much. So you would want consistency with the link. And I'm sharing this
Go back
again
right there,
because
don't
I
Marcus.
said
One
earlier
pack
that
for him.
Microsoft Team is one of our collaborative
Huh?
platform. And so we have shared with teachers that we want
Yeah.
to move into Microsoft Team
Huh?
when we do our synchronous
Okay.
session. So I'm just
Um,
letting you know that for those who have not changed already, that we will
bring your laptop
change
right there.
into Microsoft Teams. So we will use this
Huh?
particular
Okay.
platform to use for our
I do this,
synchronous
see?
session. Some of our teachers are still not fully comfortable
Scroll up.
with it. Like myself, I am
This is
still learning.
screen stream,
Some of our teachers are
right?
fully on board. So
If I
some of
want,
your children
huh?
may have already moved into
Oh, just for
using
record with
Microsoft
this. Not for
Teams
show it
for
in a
their
computer.
synchronous
Oh,
session.
is that just
So
for
I'm
record?
just sharing that. So in the event
I
that you
come
notice that,
to camera,
okay, your child has moved on to another link, you have
but when
already
I put it
been
for camera,
informed.
you have to be right.
But I do
I put it
understand
at
your
an
point
angle
about
so,
the
or
consistency.
put it so.
Thank you very much for
I
sharing
prefer
that.
so. These are now the video camera. You click and you
Sure.
start to record. Oh,
You're muted again, Doc.
Here I am talking a lot to myself. Okay.
like this.
So,
Good
I
Okay.
evening.
said
And I put
so
rubber
you,
band if I got
I
rubber band.
understand that you
Use
would
it if
want
you need to.
consistency with the link. Did you hear me saying that part? Let me move this from here. That you would want consistency with the link for the synchronous session. So as I said earlier, the Ministry of Education has provided us with this particular platform, which is Microsoft Teams. So some of our teachers have already moved transition into Microsoft Teams. Some have not. They're still making their way. Mr. Castellanos has been having session with homeroom teachers and students on how to log into Microsoft Team and how to navigate Microsoft Team. So in the event that you notice sometime before in April that your child has transitioned, you have already been informed that this is what we want to move into. It is safer for your child, And there's a lot more that our teachers can do with their class using Microsoft Teams. Thank you very much for sharing about the appreciation for our teachers who have been sending that reminder to you consistently to say, you know what, mommy, daddy, you pick, the log into my session, no say, don't they stop. So thank you very much for sharing that. And I understand that you will want more of this from the rest of our teachers. And I also understand what some parents have said. It is a two-way street, so we need to work together. So there are some improvements that we will need to do as a body
Huh?
so we could build and strengthen our parent-teacher relationship and our school community relationship. So thank you very much for
Christian,
that.
if you
Let me
need
go
to
down the
raise
line
it up
and
high,
see
put on the
who
light.
else has hand up. Anthony Alberto, is
Ah,
there
yeah.
someone who has the hand up long time ago? I'm just going straight down. Anthony, could you go
Yes,
ahead?
yes, ma'am. I'm concerned about actually it's just a concern I have that
Okay.
in the situation of Anthony, I'm Anthony auntie. He lives with my mom, which is his grandma. My mom is old and she doesn't speak any English. She doesn't know nothing. So, and I can't come to his house often. So for me, it's hard to be checking on the mood. So I would like her dear teacher to at least send a text if he have any missing work or if he's not attending anything. And for me, I feel like it's very hard for him that nobody is for him to help. And
Okay.
he has failed some subject which at the beginning was hard. I understand it was hard for all the parents, and we were only receiving the package, and he was giving all his answer or whatever in the package. We didn't had at the time no internet and no device for my kid do his work. And I'm not so sure if the teacher were getting all his assignment or if he was not um doing all the assignment, because for me he failed some of the main subject, and I know Anthony is a very smart person, so for me I, it's a really concern about that.
Okay. So thank you very much for sharing that. I just placed in the chat Miss Cardona's cell number 613-6212. Miss Cardona is our counselor who works with the first and second farm students. So if you're having any sort of challenge, like Anthony's situation would be an excellent situation. You need the assistance for Anthony. You need the support for Anthony. We would not know unless you reach out to us. And I want to ask that you don't wait for the other parents. Don't wait way at the end before you try to reach us. Ms. Cardona is good with her first and second firm students. She may ask you to fill out a particular form. She might meet with you and meet with Anthony and ask certain questions so she could determine how best we could provide that education and support for Anthony. So I've placed Ms. Cardona's number in the chat. Please store the number. Please reach out to her. If there's any challenge that you or your child are experiencing for whatever
Hmm?
reason, whatever difficult
But you need to
circumstance
put that
you or
right,
the
right,
child may
right
be
now.
experiencing, and you need somebody to
As soon as I finish
listen
with
to
this,
you
I
or
could go
you
buy
need
a
to
geometric
share
set.
with someone, please reach out to Miss Cardona, and that is her cell number. If
Thank
you
you.
call, it might be that she may be in a class, just send a message and she will definitely respond back to you. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you too.
You're welcome. Okay, I go down the line. Bonilla, and then Angelita, Tristan, and then Tristan. Bonilla Mar, go ahead. Your hand is up. Okay, Angelita Emmanuel.
Good evening, Miss Arzuda, Mr. Emmanuel. I trust you're hearing me.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
I have 2 points I want to quickly raise based on my observation with work Jashri does. Um, One, I heard everybody talking quite well about Miss Son, especially Miss Esther's son, and I do think she's a really excellent teacher. I've worked with a lot of teachers, but I think she's on top of her game. Because she has good communication. She assists her students quite well when there's issues, and if you communicate with her, she communicates back. I think I haven't gotten that from her other teachers at all. She has a link to us that anything she sends, I also pick up. So when she sends message, I can see it on my phone as well, and I can also follow it up with my child. The second point I want to raise, it is a concern, is what do you guys have in place for when teachers are missing, especially for long periods, like when they are out for long periods, because then we have teachers who get sick or have to go out for something else, or something else is occurring and the kid is out, is not being taught anything in that particular area for a week, 2 weeks. In some instance, we have one right now that I believe is going to be for 3 weeks, and then that student is left without any teaching for that particular time. Isn't there some form of substitute system in place?
That's an excellent question. Thank you again for commending Miss Son. Regarding your second question, I don't know about the person who will be out for 3 weeks, but each we have 5 or 6. We have several departments at school. So, for example, there's one for vocational. There's the math. There's the English. There's the Spanish. There is the science, humanities, business, IT. And so each one of those, they have a head of department. The head of department monitors the work on Moodle. The head of department has access to all of the teachers' Moodle page. So if I am the head for Spanish, I can go into Moodle and I could look at the pages for all of my
No, this are so
teachers.
late, like a whole hour late.
Thank you for muting the mic. Could you
Afternoon,
please
Miss,
mute
pero
the
lo
mic?
único que no lo explican en español.
Thank you. So the as I was explaining about the head of department would be the first line of responsibility for those teachers who would be out. I know I could testify that when one particular teacher was out, the HOD ensured that the work was placed on Moodle. Now they may not have the synchronous session, but the work would have been placed on Moodle. So if you would have that
Afternoon,
particular
Miss.
concern with any
Lo
particular teacher,
único malo
then
que no
please
lo
communicate
explican en
that
español.
with administration so admin will be able to follow up with the head of the department. You just mentioned something about someone will be out or someone was out for 3 weeks. I really don't know about that particular situation, but I would like to learn about that situation. So you could just let me know so I could always follow up on that. I don't know if that answers the question.
Thank you very much. I was just trying to bring that to your attention and see what is in
Okay.
place, and you've answered the question. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. Thank you too. Bonnie and Mar, are you ready now?
Afternoon,
No?
Miss. Em,
Well, good afternoon.
lo
Go
malo
ahead.
es que no traducen en español porque la verdad yo no entiendo casi.
Ok, a ver, ¿tienes algún pregunta? ¿Algún, tienes algo para decirnos?
Pues lo que yo tengo para decir es que, pues, la verdad, no, yo siempre estoy pendiente de que mi hijo haga los trabajos y todo, pero el bimestre pasado bajó, estuvo muy bajo y este, pues estoy tratando de que salga alto, a que pase, que haga sus trabajos y todo. Estoy pendiente y hasta ahorita pues sé que en matemática va bien, pero en los demás no sé, porque la verdad la maestra Mr. Zoom, ella me manda mis textos, yo me comunico con ella me está diciendo cómo va mi hijo. Entonces va bien en matemática, pero lo demás, la verdad no sé. No sé cómo está ahorita. A veces él me dice, saqué tanto, pero no sé en todos, no sé en los demás, porque la verdad, yo no sé computadora. Ujú.
Ok, estás en un group chat de su clase
Ajá.
de tu hijo. Ok,
Sí, estoy
pues
en... Ajá.
okay, en ese group chat hay los
Ujú.
números de los maestros.
Sí,
Así
yo
que
los tengo, pero la vez
entonces
pasada
estás en comunicación. Ajá, sigue, sigue.
ajá, la vez pasada yo los llamé y
Ok,
de todas las materias que él salió bajo, yo llamé y hablé con los maestros, pero la verdad hubo una que sí me contestó mal y la verdad no me gustó. Sí,
ok.
sí.
Pues disculpa para esa experiencia que tuviste. No
Sí,
hay razón para que puedes, no había razón para eso.
pues sí,
Pero
porque la
sí,
verdad, yo estaba hablando tranquila, le estaba preguntando de mi hijo, le dije yo, pues yo sé que usted es mi maestra de mi hijo, entonces yo me interesa saber de mi hijo, por eso le estoy haciendo test. Y le dije yo no es por otra cosa, porque si no fuera mi maestra de mi hijo, yo no le hago test, le dije yo. Y ay, disculpe, le dije yo, porque la verdad a mí me interesa saber de él, le dije yo. Y la verdad le dije yo, si no tiene paciencia, pues no hubiera estudiado para eso, porque la verdad me molestó. Sí,
ok. Pues sí, sí,
sí.
hoy más para más adelante, cuando tienes problemas o cuando comunicas con los maestros y no
Ajá,
tiene alguna respuesta, por
ajá,
favor habla en la oficina. No sé si tienes su número de Mistec. Voy a poner mi
ajá.
número
Sí
en el chat.
lo tengo. Ajá.
Exactamente.
Sí,
Entonces
pero yo no
puedes
quise,
comunicar.
mejor me quedé allí y sí, la verdad, no le voy a decir que ella me mandó, se disculpó conmigo después porque la verdad dijo que no había entendido bien el texto, pero la verdad mi texto
Ok,
estaba claro
ok,
y entonces, pero dije yo no voy a hacer más grande las cosas, mejor las voy a dejar así. Pero sí dije yo voy a poner de parte de mi hijo que
ok,
él haga todo el esfuerzo y de mi parte. Pero si esto pasa de otra vez, yo voy a tener que hacer algo más.
ok.
Ajá.
Pues
Sí,
muchísimas gracias, pues.
no, mi,
Ok.
bien, feliz tarde.
Tristan, is Tristan ready now? No? Okay. Salazar, go ahead, please. And then,
Hi. Hi, good
yes.
evening. Yes,
Hi,
I'm
good
ready.
evening. Okay,
This
go ahead.
is Kristen's mom. Um, I would like to ask about the Microsoft, the 365, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Um, I joined the meeting and asked about the that they had, and I asked about the passcode, um, to how to enter it, right?
Okay.
And because you guys are going to use that for now on, right? So
That's
I would
correct.
like to know how I can get into the Microsoft with the passcode because then I already entered it once, but it still give me it said the wrong passcode. So I'm having a little trouble with the passcode that they give me because they give me two I think two set of numbers. One is nine numbers, and the other one I think it's 10, something like that. I don't remember, but I still have the passcode for it, and I've been telling Tristan to at least go ahead and um put in the password so that then he could log in through it, right? So and he we still can't get into it. So I would like to know how I can get to his get in it then to log in.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Mr. Castellanos is one who works directly with those students who have difficulty logging in. If he can't help, then he will just forward that concern to Mr. Miranda. But every single student, and I was trying to pull up that information. I'm not certain if the number is 10 or if the number is, if it's a 10 digit or if it is a 9-digit number. Let's see.
Or
Student
by
BMIS
chance,
number.
you can like maybe send me his not phone number so that then I can get in contact to them, just in case.
Right. So it is a 10-digit number. I'm putting
Okay.
Mr. Castellanos help desk number in here.
All right. Please and thank you.
Castellanos. All right. So in the chat, I've posted Mr. Castellanos' number. If you have difficulty with anything tablet related, or your child has difficulty logging into Microsoft Office, just send a message to Mr. Castellanos or call him if he's in a class. Leave if he doesn't answer, it may be that he's in a class. Just leave a message, and he will definitely respond to you. So please take
Okay,
note
ma'am.
of Mr. Castellanos' number. Thank you so very much for that question.
Okay, thank you too.
Okay. Egmas Salazar, go ahead, please. Okay. Uh,
Hola, buenas noches, maestra.
Buenas
Yo soy la
noches.
mamá de Esvin Salazar y yo también quería que viera que el primer semestre Esvin también me perdió varias, varias subjects y a veces él no se podía conectar a ver, tenía que conectarse y me perdió varios. Entonces, yo no sé cómo para ayudarle a él, porque también como dice decía la señora ahí, yo tampoco puedo computadora o algo así. Pues su maestra de él en Mr. Zoom, y ella me dijo que íbamos a trabajar con Edwin para que Edwin pudiera subir, porque sí me pasó bien bajo y usted sabe que uno de mamá quiere lo mejor para ellos. Yo quiero que, pues yo estoy ahorita con él ahí tras de él para que él haga su trabajo a tiempo y todo, pero, pero siempre va, a veces yo no, ella me manda mensajes y yo no le entiendo y así, pero sí yo quisiera también, como estoy viendo los números que usted manda ahí ahorita para ver, a veces para hablar más para que pueda ayudarle más yo a él y la maestra, sacarme también los deberes que él no ha hecho o así, o que no pasó, porque no me pasó más, como 4 subjects no me pasó el primer semestre y me pasó bien bajo.
Okay, muchas gracias para comunicar eso con nosotros. En el chat puse su número de Miss Natalia Cardona. Ella es nuestra counselor que trabaja con los niños en primera, en segunda forma. Si nosotros no sabemos la situación, no podemos ayudar. Así que la comunicación es importante y no hay por qué tienen que sufrir ah, para tanto, pues. Cuando hay un problema, inmediatamente comunica con los maestros. Ahora tiene su número del counselor. Así que habla con el counselor, dice qué es lo que está pasando, qué es su situación, y ella te va a hablar, ella va a sentar con usted, tu hijo y tu hija, y para hacer cómo podemos ayudar los niños, pues. Cuando empecé, dice que los niños que no hicieron su trabajo, nos vamos a dar una oportunidad para que puedan hacer ese trabajo otra vuelta. Los niños tienen el tiempo de hoy hasta el 9 de abril. Así que ellos no van a tener nada de Easter. En su Easter van a hacer su trabajo. Nuestros maestros se van a ir en vacaciones este viernes. Así que Hoy, mañana es el tiempo para comunicar con nuestros maestros. Hablan con ellos. Am, Tienen acceso a Microsoft en Abacus. Si no tienen su nombre, si no puede accesar Abacus, habla con Mistake. Ella, te va a dar el password para que puedas ir a ver su trabajo de los niños. Antes, Mr. Castellanos mostró su página de Moodle. Vamos a tener un session, él va a organizar un workshop para que pueda enseñar a los parientes cómo podemos ayudar a nuestros niños en Moodle. En Moodle puedes ver si tu hijo um, acceso a Moodle o no. Algunos, algunos niños que saben que los parientes no saben de tecnología, le van a mentir. Pero si puede saber cómo acceso a Moodle, usted puede saber que, ajá, ustedes no acceso a Moodle. Mira, está diciendo que la última vez que entraste en Moodle era la semana pasada o el mes pasado. Así que vamos a tener ese workshop con Mr. Castellanos para los parientes para Moodle. Si tienes dificultades en algo, por favor no espera tanto, habla con los maestros. Los maestros se van a abrir los exámenes que los niños no hicieron. Pero los niños tienen hasta abril 9. Abril 9 es lunes, martes, miércoles, viernes. Así que no quiero que el último día los niños o los parientes están llamando a nuestros maestros. Estoy diciendo hasta ahora. Tienen el tiempo hoy hasta abril para hacer ese trabajo. Si hay algo que no entiendes, por favor, llama a los maestros, habla con el counselor, llama a Mesteco, llama a la oficina, para que podamos sentar, podemos hablar, para ver cómo podemos ayudar a nuestros niños. Pero necesitamos ayuda de los parientes también.
Sí, eso es cierto.
Oh,
Muchas gracias
ok,
por también todo el esfuerzo que ustedes hacen. Sabemos que trabajan duro con los niños y todo. Y
sí.
muchísimas gracias por eso. Y sí, voy a hacer eso para que en estos días que faltan, Edwin pueda hacer todos sus missing grids que tiene.
Right.
Eh,
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por
igual.
trabajar con nosotros.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Okay. Paul Chun and then Tessani. Paul Chun, go ahead, please. And I will mute.
Hi, good morning, Principal, and good evening, Principal.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm sorry, I just joined the meeting. I'm so busy with workshops throughout the day. As you have said, we will close off by Friday. You know, tomorrow is the last day for us, but Friday is the official day. I don't know if I had missed out anything, but my concern was that I really wanted to know, will there be any recuperation for the students who have been missing assignments, or is it, or there is a set date where they should submit all works, all assignment?
Thank you very much for your question. And yes, indeed, you were missing in action. That's what I just explained a short while ago. So when I started, I mentioned that we have decided that we're going to continue work with our students. And so we are reopening the assessment for those students who did not submit. And so the child has from now, did I say April the 9th? Yes, April the 9th is on a Friday. So the child has from now until April the 9th. Whatever assessment the child missed, the child is getting another opportunity to complete the assessment. And so that's what I said. If there's any question, anything you don't understand, the parent have from now up until Friday when we close to touch base with our teachers to make sure that you understand whatever assessment your child is missing. Parents have access to Abacus. You could go into Abacus and you could watch your child's grade for every single subject, and you will know what the child has pending. So please touch base with the teachers to make sure that your child can complete those particular assessments. So then your child will not have any kind of Easter break. But at the same time, now we don't want to overwhelm them. And then this is where planning comes in, because we are in the second semester. So they will also have assignments to do for second semester. So you want to encourage your child to create that space, to create that balance, to ensure that they could complete the missing assessment, and so their grades will be able to improve. But then we're calling on the parents also to ensure that they pull their weight and that they hold the child responsible, so that the child can do what needs to get done, so they could at least experience a certain level of success. We understand that this time is difficult. We understand Moodle is new. We understand the whole online learning is new. And all of us, we were just thrown into this. And so we are learning at the same time. So we understand all of that. So we're giving another opportunity. Now, mindful now, when we return after the Christmas break, we did this before. And we're doing it again. And this is the last time that we're doing this for the first semester. So we're still giving our students an opportunity to improve. And so to answer your question, yes, they have from now up until April the 9th to complete and submit those missing assignments. Do not call our teachers April the 9th about any assignment. Do not call them Monday the 12th when you return about any assignment. Call them between now, but not even tonight, because we have to create that boundary. So you will have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to touch base. Go into Moodle, go into Abacus, and familiarize yourself with it and communicate with our teachers. I'm sure that they will respond to you.
Well, yeah, to add to it, I am only placed in a few of the teachers' chat with my students, and I was wondering when will the other teachers put me in, because I always ask them, especially Mr. Peck, um,
Okay.
Miss Martinez, and Mr. Pedro, who is always engaging me in my students' work. But what about the other teachers?
So have you touched base with the other teachers?
I haven't, but I will try my very best to see what I can do between now and then, because I have asked them to place me in their chat. I don't know if they have any other chat open, but I try my best when Mr. Pedro comes in the morning. I try to tell my child, please do your math. It is very important. Now, what if these children does not attempt before and the date reaches the 9th of April? What will happen? Will they repeat?
So you see, that's what we want to avoid, and that's why we've been asking parents to work along with us. And I said before, we are giving them another opportunity. So there's absolutely no reason why any child should not resubmit, because we understand that every parent wants the best for his or her child. And so we are trusting that our parents will work along with his or her child. In the chat, I have already placed the counselor's phone number. So we are making ourselves available. We are doing our part as a school. And we understand that you might have difficulties, challenges, but we would not know unless you communicate with us. So we
Yeah.
don't want to go that route to say what will happen if they don't. We don't want that to happen any at all. So we're trusting that each and every parent will pull his or her weight, because our teachers are doing that. Administration is doing that. The board is doing that. So every single person needs to come on board. If there's any
Yeah.
challenge, we have our counselors are available. I just share Mr. Castellanos' phone number. If there's anybody who has difficulty with Microsoft Office or with the Microsoft Teams or the tablet. So we are making every possible resources available, because we understand the difficulty, we understand the challenges, but we just can't do it alone. It has to be a two-way street. So
Yeah, that's what
just
I was
work with
wondering
us.
about.
Just work with us. Just work with us.
Because
Just work with us.
what happened to parents who doesn't have internet? No, I'm just
So
putting
that's
that.
right, and
Yeah.
I understand your concern, and that's why I have already shared the information in the chat. And right now we're fully online, so everybody has access. We understand that there are some who purchase data, And that's the reason why we ask the parent and the child to communicate with the teachers. So the teachers know what to expect and what not to expect and what standard they should expect from students. So our teachers know who is purchasing data versus those who have access to full internet. And if they don't know, it's because the information has not been communicated to them. So I'm asking again, please communicate your situation to our teachers. They can only work with you if they know. And they will only know if you communicate with them. I know the ministry has asked us to return to school. We don't know the full detail about that as yet, but we know that they're requiring schools to reopen sometime in April or sometime in May. And that will be another situation. We have to meet again and we will share that information with you. But as I said earlier, Moodle is here to stay with us. Microsoft Team is here to stay with us. So we will be engaging in the face-to-face and using this particular platform. And at the same time, the ministry has also mentioned they were going to provide some students with the SIM card that has data on it. So we're just waiting for that to be finalized. But thank you very much, Mr. Chun,
Doc,
for your question.
Doc, if I may ask Mr. Chun, what class is his child in?
Yes, I have my daughter in second form, and I have my son in tree business. My
Um,
daughter's name is Yamira Maria Chun. My son's name is Elmer Marvin Chun.
okay, I'm asking specifically because I would go by class. So, for example, I'm the IT teacher for second year one to second year seven. All right, so thank you.
Okay. What's the class? Okay.
Thank you. And then parents, I want to encourage you to please learn the name of your child's teachers and please learn the class. So we have from second year 1 to second year 9, we have from first year 1 to first year 9. So when we ask and we ask what form, please tell us first year 1, first year 2, first year 9. So I want to encourage you to get familiar with the teacher's name and with the class name also. And thank you very much. Let me, Tisani, or Tisani China? Tisani, go ahead, please. All right, so then while we wait, let me turn on to Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy, go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening, parents, teachers, Dr. Zhu. I just wanted to mention that my reassessments have been opened, the six assessments, and the students can get started. It was open early this week, but because of the Moodle was down day, I think, or so. But students can get started second formers. They can get started already, so they can do their six reassessment. It's open. All of them say reassessment. So they can just look at Moodle and then they could identify them by reassessment. I could send my number is 615-8099. If those parents who will need to contact me, I'm the Spanish teacher for second tier 6. My number is 615-8099.
Okay, I
Okay,
got
that's
that.
it, Dr. Zoom.
Thank you very much, Miss Lucy.
Well,
All right, so I've placed Miss Lucy's number in the chat for parents who want to get in touch with Miss Lucy. Thank you. Yes, Tisan, you can go ahead, then Mateo, and then Danielle. And then we will move on. Okay, so let's move on to Mateo then.
Um, Evening, Dr. Arzu. My question is that how can I get the phone number of the teachers or how can I reach them by not using the RG system? I prefer to call them or get their number and talk to them. The last time I asked the homeroom teacher that I wanted to talk to the clothing and textile teacher, and she said that they don't give their number that I had to reach to her through email.
Okay, so some teachers prefer the email communication, and they would prefer the email communication. It's what they would use for their record for most people. Some have no problem sharing their cell number, any at all. Some teachers have the group chat. So, and what most parents have done is to inform the homeroom teacher to say that this particular parent would like to meet with them. If you can't get through to any of them and you're having difficulty, then please contact the office. I was putting my number in here. 615 5641. Are you part of the class chat?
Um, yes,
Okay, so would you know then if Miss Koyok is in that class chat? More than likely she
Hmm?
would be in the class chat, and once she's in the class chat, then you would have access to
Ask
her
us
number in
to
the
go by the
class
Don
chat.
Marcos
So
some.
instead of sending an entire message to the group,
Huh?
then you could just
Okay.
access her name and send her that private message.
okay.
Right. Alrighty, thank you very much. Let me see. We're learning how to use the razor hands. Mateo?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Have you said something already? Okay, let's go to Daniel. And as just a parent, how we're using the raise a hand, this is what we want to encourage our students to do also when they get access to Microsoft Teams. It's just part of our online manners, which is called netiquette. So thank you very much. We're learning at the same time. So, Julian,
Hi, good night, Miss.
hi, good night.
I just want to thank all the teachers at Belmont Comprehensive School for working with my child. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate that you guys giving the child extra time to do their work because then I mean sometimes the children they don't get in the mood and they don't get their work done to time, and I really appreciate that you guys are doing that, which you don't have to do it because it's their responsibility to do their work and have it in on time, but I appreciate it. And for me, since I'm at work, I work at the hour shift and I don't even when I go, I'm so tired that yes, I'm a parent and I know I fail in that part to know that to see if my child do his work on time. So really appreciate that you guys give them that second chance to do it, and I appreciate for Miss Barrientos, our director teacher that work with the children. They are so good with their children, with these students in first year. My son is in first year seven. He's a visual chiak, and I know that yes, sometimes they can't get in the class, they're absent and thing. And me myself, I feel bad because they didn't get in and stuff like that. But I really appreciate it and thanks for the work that you guys are doing with them. That's all I want to say, Miss.
Thank you very much, and thank you for recognizing the hard work of our teachers. Thank you. Miss Koyok has already shared her number in the chat, so parent, please feel free to communicate with Miss Koyok. Thank you very much, Miss Koyok. Daniel, and Daniel is the last person, and then we will move on.
Good night, miss.
I,
Zachodzę ciekawe, że obmułady cyklują. Wszędzie dostają, bo wasze hand go inside.
yes, good night.
So I just know as me that I will text mistake that I want information to act to enter abacus mission. I may text she the class and my name and she never answer me.
Okay, Daniel Hernandez. Daniel, what class are you in, Daniel?
Second year 8.
Second year 8. All right. Thank you very much, Daniel. I will follow up with mistake.
Alright, miss.
All right, thank you. And then my number is already in the chat. So if you don't hear from me by tomorrow, then just send me a reminder. All right. Thank you very much, Danielle. Melvin, you have something to say? Go ahead, please. You could unmute your mic. And then Ms. Guzmani will be next. Okay. Alrighty. So moving on. So I want to invite Miss Rosado is also sharing her number in the chat. She teaches English and literature, 635 4685. Please take notes so you could reach out to our teachers. Thank you. Ms. Guzman, the mic is yours.
Hi, good night. Good night, everybody. Good night, parents. Good night, teachers, fellow administrators. Will be sharing
Could you go ahead with the option firm first? I was trying to navigate for the calendar, but for some reason.
Okay, so this would
Oh,
be
okay, got it.
basically
All right,
for
just give me a minute.
so this would be basically for second form students. We have shared a link to the option form. This option form would be what the students would fill out, choosing their options for third form. They go into their specific majors, and so they would have that form to verify what they want to specialize in or what they will choose to study from here on out for the next 2 years. Whatever they choose, the option form is set up in such a way that they would choose their first option, and then they're prompted to choose a second and even a third option. Okay, each of the so this link has been shared via the homeroom teachers already. If you have
I am presenting the I am showing it, Miss Guzman.
okay,
I think you could see it.
okay, good. All right, so what's presenting on the screen is basically telling, guiding, serving as a guide to the students as to what they can possibly choose to study for the next semester, right? So in the science options, there's 1, 2, and 3 there. On the science one, you take all three sciences: chemistry, physics, biology, and of those would be the majors. And then, of course, the core subjects would be English, maths, information technology, Spanish, geography, and physical education. All right, science 2 would be similar options, and then science 3 slightly differs in the third subject there. You'd still do chemistry and biology, but you'd have the option of choosing between agriculture and food and nutrition, as well as the core subjects remain the same. So all of those are for the science option. Under the business options, there's also three options there again. Option 1 would be principle of business, principles of accounts, economics, English, mathematics, IT, Spanish, integrated science, and social studies. So if you notice, there are actually three business subjects there. There are other core subjects, and there's one subject from the humanities department, which would be the social studies. Under the business option 2, similar but slightly different, with the principle of business and the principle of accounts remaining the same. Another business subject is added there in the form of office administration. And then, of course, there's the other core: English, math, IT, Spanish, integrated science, and also, again, social studies. Under business option 3, You would take more business principles of business, sorry, office administration, EDPNM, which is electronic document preparation management, um, English, mathematics, information technology, Spanish, integrated science, and social studies again. So those would be the options for business. Under the technical options, there's three options there. I'm just trying to provide that variety for our students. Remember, the comprehensive studies in all of these particular areas. That is why we are so unique. Under the technical option one, we'd have technical drawing, building construction technology, entrepreneurship, English, mathematics, information technology, physics, because you will need that part for the building and construction area, right? So definitely advise that you take that physics if you want to pursue that on a long-term basis. Spanish and then geography assists you in that area as well. For the technical option two, there's food and nutrition, agriculture, entrepreneurship, English, mathematics, information technology, Spanish, integrated science, and social studies. Notice the entrepreneurship is evident in all of the technical options because it's starting a small business. So it's basically prepping you and branch off as soon as you leave high school, possibly, or go more in depth when you go to tertiary level. Technical option 3E, finally go down a little bit, but the I just want to share the technical visual arts there. Visual arts is the drawing aspect, the art part of it, drawing, textural design, things like that, right? So if you're artistic that way, then that would be the option for you. Entrepreneurship again, English, mathematics, information technology, Spanish, integrated science, and social studies. Notice all of the options offer those core subjects for your completion at BCS. Can we go down? All right, and then there's the arts option. Arts option one offers literature, history, visual English, mathematics, information technology, Spanish, integrated science, and entrepreneurship. Okay, if you're into reading, if you're into studying history, if you want to pursue law, this would be the option for you. Arts option two offers literature history with just a change in the third elective, which would be clothing and textile, and the core remains the same: English, mathematics, information technology, Spanish, integrated science, entrepreneurship. All right, so those are the options as we've shared them. And of course, you have received the link that you'll just go through it, choose what is your first choice, what is your second choice, and it goes up to your option three. It's for us to group you, for us to know exactly where you're comfortable with. We try to offer you your first choice, but in any event, we offer a second option in case the class would become full and we cannot offer that particular one just because of staffing and because the group might be too large. We would ask you to take on your second option. So definitely we want you guys to talk about it. Parents, talk about the options with your student. These are career plans, what they plan to do in the future. And it starts here. When you are able to decide from very early on in life as to what career path you want to take, it helps you in moving forward. You do not waste time in terms of pursuing what it is that you want to do. And I think when you foster a love for what you want to do, then you become a happy employee, right? So basic information is being shared there. Ensure that you fill out all the information that the form requires of you, and be sure to forward it so that we're able to see it. The deadline for the submission of that option form is April 9th. So, second year students, you have time to go over the options, discuss it with your. Please do not enter into an option just because your friends are choosing that particular option. We're all individuals. God made us unique. And so we have our preferences, right? We have what we like, we have what we don't like. And so I would not suggest that you enter into an option just because friends are in that something that you really do not like. And we to change their options as soon as they enter into it. Within the first 2 weeks of school and class begin, they want to change. Miss, can I come and change my option? I don't want to do business anymore. They want to do science or don't want to do science anymore. They want to do technical. Be sure about your choices. And though you may discuss it with friends, I know peers have a very huge influence at this age, but try to make the decision uniquely yours and try to come up with something that you're able to live with. Okay? Any any questions about that form?
I'm not sure if Ms. Cardona would want to contribute to the discussion because she was able to organize a virtual career session for our students. So maybe Ms. Cardona may want to add something to it.
Sure.
I think Ms. Guzman explained the form pretty well. The only yeah, I think Ms. Guzman did an excellent job with the form. I guess if somebody have a question, then I can jump in and clarify. But thanks for the opportunity, Dr. Azu.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Cardona. I believe that we had a career week the first week of March. Is that correct?
Yes, we had career.
And it was a virtual career session. Virtual career session where Miss Cardona was able to share some videos of past alumni of Belmopan Comprehensive School who gave heartfelt talk about how their education at Compre aided them in becoming or choosing the profession they are currently in. And so if you haven't taken time out, even parents as you listen now, you are free to go back on the Moodle page and free to check out those careers, or even YouTube, or search it up what this career expects, or the requirements, the expectations of a particular career, and so that your child is best suited to make a good decision. No questions about the form? Everybody's mind is pretty made up as to what they're choosing for third form. Like I said, I know our students would ask their parents. They would seek the advice of their parents in choosing, where they want to go and how they want to proceed. And parents, please don't try to pressure them into something that they are not genuinely or willingly wanting to take on, because sometimes as individuals we know what we can handle. Our parents might be seeing one thing in the future for us, or one thing in the pipeline, but again, at the end of the day, it should be the child's choice and the child's comfort. I mean, we as individuals, we know what we can handle and what we can't. Okay, so I just want you to be mindful of that. to continue to be a source of encouragement to your kids and guide them through this process without putting that pressure on them. I would have parents come to me and say, "Oh, but I want him to do science, and I was a science major, and his dad is a science major, and the child or the pick me want technical, and I don't want to do technical." No, no, no. It's the child's choice at the end of the day, and age would be yours. All right, so um, with that said, then, if there's no questions, we can move into our tentative school calendar.
Sorry, can I ask a question, please? Can you repeat
Or,
what you said about the
okay,
link to
the
access
link,
them?
okay, the link was shared. The link was shared by the scan form homeroom teacher.
Okay.
And so I believe they might have shared it via the WhatsApp group chat. And so you are just able to press that link and you go in, and then the guided instruction looks on the screen there that says course selection form, and then everything is just self-explanatory.
Okay. In case it was not, because I follow all the
Uh,
messages. No. In case it was not, who do we address this to? The same
okay.
homeroom teacher?
Okay, yes. So we will have our okay, let me do it then as a reminder. Teachers, if you have not shared or share it so that the students can have the access. We have it too. So any of the numbers that you have there in the chat, you can send us a text, and then we're free to send the forward the link to you. And
Thank you
for
very much.
anybody else that may need, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think I could try to see if I could share the link in the chat, but the parents would have to know it's only for second farm students and not for the first farm.
Yes, it's only for second year students. I won't share it if somebody didn't get it. They're free to just send us a message, and then we can share it, or we just ask our second year teachers to reshare. We don't want to confuse the first
Okay,
year
sure.
babies.
You know, it's my first camping.
I didn't get that. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. If it was a question,
I guess not, so maybe we could
yes,
move on.
yes. Okay, sure.
No.
All right, so some of the dates do not apply to our students, but most importantly, we want to mention our we were scheduled to have our honor roll ceremony because we do want to honor our top performers at school, and we had that scheduled for this week, but we had to postpone, and so we will do it as soon as we get the clearance that we can have students on the compound. So more than likely, it's going to be within the first week of April that we want to conduct the honor roll ceremony for our semester one. Our school closes for Easter vacation this Friday, so everybody is able to get a break for their Easter vacation, which runs from the 29th to April 9th. The second year electronic course selection process closes on the 9th. So ensure that you get in your form, ensure that you get the link, and you're able to submit that prior to the closing date. Dr. Azu, I'm not sure if we have hard copies. Do we have hard copies where if somebody really needs a copy, they can drop by at school?
We did not prepare any, but it is something that we
Okay.
could look into if there's a need.
Okay. If there's a need. Okay, thank you. All right. And if you notice, I think we talked about the outstanding assessments. being open. Dr. Arzu explained that extensively, and we know that now there's a deadline. We cannot reiterate enough how important it is. We're really trying and collaboratively as a school to ensure that our students, make it and that they feel proud about themselves. And so, with the outstanding assessment period being open from the 15th of March, it closes on the 9th. And so, we want you to lock in that deadline so that you get your work submitted prior to that date so that you are not left behind or anything of the sort. All right, classes resume Monday the 12th. Um, and of course, we will inform whether that will be face to face. For right now, it's virtual, but we will inform as we continue. Our mid semester two is coming up, which we will refer to as our third quarter, and our midterm ends the April 30th. April 30th would be the end of our mid semester two, which is equivalent to our third quarter. All right. And then right after, we would have our grades being entered, and we'd have our system being open for you to view those grades. If you notice, we have into May, the second semester, the reports will be viewed via Abacus. We also have our first form application going out in an electronic link as well. And so, if you have children desirous of attending our beloved institution, you can definitely text us to receive that application link, and so that your incoming your first your standard six student is able to apply and be a part of the BCS family. I think there's a closing date for that application as well.
Right.
Yes, the 7th. Would that be May? May 7th would be, is that May?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
that's correct.
correct.
Okay, so the deadline for that is the 7th. And of course, like I said, you can always text any of our numbers for us to send you a direct link. And our teachers have access to the link as well. So any one of them are able to share with you. Mhm.
Um,
That would be
Here it is.
okay. So our last day of classes would be the 25th of June. Actually, I think we'd finish up with grades before that though, the 18th, right? We'd finish
Right.
up with grade and grade entry and all of that stuff. We'd complete that by Friday the 18th. So really the last week would just be to for us to settle up on the grades. If there's anything that needs to be clarified, we would do that within the last week of that June leading up to the 25th, and then we will distribute report card thereafter. If you notice, the Thursday and the Friday will be used to send or forward the report cards. Registration is there. Could we just hit that registration for our second to fourth year students would be June 28th to July 2nd, the registration period. First form registration comes a little bit earlier than this because there are new intake, right? Thank you, Dr. Cole.
Miss, could you repeat the registration for second farmers, please?
Sure. So registration for second to fourth would be June 28th to July 2nd. And the same process would apply. You pay at the bank and then you reconcile at the bursar's office, or you can send in your statement so that it can be done on your behalf.
Thank you.
Sure.
We can also share a modified version of the calendar of activities with
Yes,
parents.
yes. Can pull out some stuff, and then we'll do that. We'll work on that. So that we could send that via WhatsApp. You have a quick reference to the calendar. Okay, thank you, Dr. Arzu. I'm seeing some hands raised. I don't know if it's pertaining to what I've presented, but I'll mute, and then we could take the questions.
Okay. Sure. Linda Arnold, thank you very much, Mrs. Mann. Linda Arnold, go ahead, please. And then Teresa Alice.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Arzu and the rest of parents and teachers. I just have one question and one concern because I noticed today on Facebook that they announced that they have approved the announcement of reopening of school across the board. I would just like to know if that is approved by you guys as well and what's your intake on it so that we can start our preparation because we know that immediately after the Easter holiday, that will be the 12th of April, if so.
So that memo just came out,
Hello?
and so
Yes, ma'am.
¿Qué pasó? Estoy
school
junto
have
ahorita.
options, and I'm just reading that memo, and the memo has two options. It says April 12th and it says May 10th. We will have to engage in our meeting, and then we will determine as a school which of these days will apply for us. And according to the document, it says that ministry still has to go in and conduct an
Junto ahorita en el
inspection
colegio.
before any school gets the
Mami,
final
estoy junto en el
approval
colegio ahorita.
to start.
Bueno, bueno.
So
No,
we
Okay.
still
estoy en
have
junta
to
en el
wait
colegio
for the
virtual.
inspection
No,
from
no puedo hablar
ministry,
ahorita.
and
Bueno,
then when that
bueno, bueno.
occurs, we will definitely come together again and share the information with parents. I know prior to
Sure,
the beginning, we would definitely have to do a shift system. When we had our
sure.
initial parents meeting in August, we had discussed about a A group and a B group
The
because we know
group
that we can't
indeed,
have
yes.
all of right, we can't have all of our students together. We still have to maintain that social distancing. As a staff, as
Sure,
a school, we have already come together and we have already developed our protocol that will guide us. We already have our wash and basin on our compound. We have all of our janitors on the compound so they could assist with the sanitization. We have purchased our pump, and every class has a hand wash station. Sorry, yeah, one of those hand wash pumps. And then those that don't have, we already have the bottle or the spray. So in terms of making sure that your child is safe at school, we have that under full control. So we heard that we were returning to school. Nothing official came out until this document that was released a short while ago. And the document is giving schools option April the 12th or May the 10th. And even before that, the
okay.
inspection for the ministry still has to get done. So whenever we
Well,
meet and
my
discuss that, we will have definitely communicate the information with parents.
Okay, thank you. Because my concern was if it was going to be blatant up until the 12th of April, which was going to be a strain on most parents, I believe. So I just would like for the information to be overlooked and we would get informed at a earlier date so that we can make our adjustments as well. So I
Right.
know as concerned as I am, there are so many other parents who will be optimistic about this situation as well. So that was just my concern.
And that is a very, very, very valid concern because this was just given to us late this evening. We know we're closing for holiday, and then pop, as soon as you
Yes,
come back,
ma'am.
you have to return to school. We are mindful of that. So we'll take all,
Yes, ma'am.
all of that into consideration. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
bringing
very
it.
much.
You're welcome.
And by the way, my name is Mr. Risha Arnold. I'm Linda Arnold and Darlon Arnold mother. I just couldn't log in from my phone, so I'm using Linda's phone to log into the
Okay.
meeting.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Arnold.
Thank you as well.
Adriana Romero, go ahead, please.
No, because then she said Linda Arnold because I wave my hand to find off and that and me no want. Then-
You want to mute your mic. Thank you. Adriana Romero, go ahead, please.
Good night, teachers. Good night, parents. One question I have. I heard that you guys were talking about registration. Um, what about a student who had subsidies? Does that apply for them still?
So the students who have subsidies, that money will be deducted from the regular school fees. I know we have already received a few from ministry. We have not received all from ministry, and I can't really tell you which student will qualify for the subsidy. But say our school fees for first farm or second farm would be $300. The subsidy is 200, so you have a balance of $100 that will be outstanding for the school. But I could share and I will share the bursar's number. The bursar's office also has a cell number, so anybody has any question regarding fees outstanding or subsidy, then you just call that office, call that number, and they will be more than willing to assist you. So I will share that in here shortly, but very valid question.
Thank you very much, Mom.
You're welcome.
So besides, so you would know if your child have subsidy if you call the bursar.
The bursar could tell you if the money comes in for that particular child. The bursar will be able to say that. Because the money, what happened, ministry sends the money directly to our bank account, and then the child's name is attached to that. So the bursar's office will be able to tell you that this money came in for Etalan Zoo and this money came in for Medellin Guzman.
Okay.
You're welcome. Any other question? Teachers, anybody else want to contribute? Any teacher has any burning issue that you want to share, you want to remind parents of, you want to encourage parents? Just mute your
No,
mic
miss.
and go right ahead. All right, so I just typed the number for the bursar's office, 613-6122. Please call the number during normal regular working time or send a WhatsApp message. They also have WhatsApp for this number. So you could message them if you want to know about your balance, anything that has to do with finance. Please send a message to that number or please call that number. And they should be able to respond to you.
Repeat the number one more
One
time,
more
Mr.
question, Ms. Arzu.
It's 613-6122. I just typed place the number in the chat also. 613-6122.
One last question, Ms. Arzu.
Sure.
About the tablets, those the students will need to return those tablets when the school opens back on the 12th, or they will still be using it until schools close in June.
They will hold on to the tablet until school closes in June, and then we'll ask them to return the tablet to us. Thank you
Thank you
very much,
very much,
Mr.
ma'am.
Sure.
Dr. Arzu, just one
Sure.
thing. We have a large number of participants, and many are using the link, and some of them may not have joined through Microsoft Office, and so we may be picking up some parents' names, not the students' names. So I would just like to, just for the record, do a quick survey if the parents would just fill in the necessary information. At the same time, we can get details of the parents as to say how we can contact them. Reason why is because we sometimes we teachers may need certain contact information of the parents, and we may not be able to reach them. So I would just like to share the link right here in the group chat here in the meeting chat. The parents just can do that survey very quickly. Ask them for the parent's name, contact number, email of the parent, as well as student's name and their class that the student is, and so then we can take a record of which parents on for which student they're actually attending, and if they have any other concerns, they can input that information in there as well. It states um, just information as the parents or guardian contact number, parents guardian's email, student's name, the class the student is in, and any other concerns and about the training session on Moodle if they would be willing to do a training session, and if they say yes no, then we can contact them back through that medium that they give us as their contact information. So I would just ask if the parents could just do that survey. The link has been shared in the meeting chat. It's a very quick survey, and it's not compromising you. It's just for us to know how you feel about the training session on Moodle, so that you can have much more updated information on your child and navigate the platform as well, and we can communicate with you. By getting this information, we can contact you directly, either through your phone or through an email. So whichever medium, we would still be able to meet you as a parent and get you into that training as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cass. Someone asked about the registration for first farm. The registration is Monday, May the 24th to the 28th. And that information will also be shared in the calendar of activities when we send it out to you parents. Any other questions, suggestions, comments?
Jer, go ahead, please.
Hi, good night, Miss Dr. Arzu.
Hi, good
Um,
night.
First of all, just want to thank you for communicating to all parents of all the things that are happening now. I just have one comment, not really a question. I must say that as a parent, I've been a bit negligent when it comes to keeping track of everything that our child goes through with all the classes now. I've been trying to, well, I've been in contact with most teachers, but I've not been as interactive with all teachers now. And one of the ways that I'm seeing that I've been negligent is with in relation to the abacus. I've heard of it. I think I did not follow up on it. And so probably what I'll try to do is to contact Miss the homeroom teacher for my son tomorrow, and to see how I can get onto it, and see how I can help, or how can I can interact further, especially with the grades and thing, because then I find out, well, I have my son for the first term. He didn't pass, I think, one of the subjects now. So all of that, I think I've been a bit negligent on. So, but with this meeting now, it's helpful, and I'll try to follow up on it, and to see what more can be done to assist, or the teachers, as well as our children. No, thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate your honesty, and I just took note about training also for abacus for parents, and that might be very important too. So thanks. Tristan, go ahead, please.
Hi, and I have another question about the opening of the assignment for students. Is it for the first semester also, or is it just this semester that they are having right now?
The opening of the assessment right now is only it's specifically for the first semester. We're
Okay.
allowing our students to catch up.
Okay, so is it okay? There is some of the assessment that is on time. Those are open also.
The teachers will open the assessment for those students who did not, for those students who have outstanding assessments. Some of them are time and some of them are not time. Teachers use different strategies for the assessment. So
The
this period, students are getting the opportunity to complete outstanding assessments.
okay,
Some may
so
be
the
time and some may not be time.
all right. Okay. So do we have to get in contact with the teachers, or is it open already?
The teachers by now would have shared that information with the students. If they have not done so, an excellent way for you to find out what assessment is outstanding is to go through Abacus. But our teachers will definitely share that information with you because they know that they must open the assessment for the students. A lot of them have already gone ahead, and a lot of them has already gone ahead to do so. If you have not heard from your child's teacher, please go into Abacus, check what assessment is outstanding, touch base with the teachers. If you have difficulty accessing Abacus, reach out to Miss Tech and she will reset your password so you could have access to Abacus again.
Okay. Thank
We-
you.
You're welcome. Pat,
Um,
go ahead, please. Pat, you have your hand up. Could you go ahead?
Hi, sorry, but I have to leave the meeting. I have some other things to do right now.
Okay.
So I guess I will contact the teacher in case I missed anything else for the
Well,
remaining of the meeting.
we are right about wrapping up. So your
Okay.
timing will be perfect too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What if the child has contacted the teacher, but the child hasn't received any response from the teacher? So, and you have emphasized today that from Friday, the child cannot contact the teacher, and then the deadline is the 9th of April. So, in that case, what should we do?
So I've shared my number in the chat. Ms. Guzman will also share her number in the chat. The counselor has already shared her number. Several of her teachers have already shared the number, so I will encourage you to just reach out again. If you need to reach out to administration, then just let us know so we could communicate with the teacher to find out what is the issue. But we should not have any issue because our teachers are 100% on board to giving students that additional opportunity to complete their assessment. So let's just maintain the communication and follow up. If you don't get through, reach out to administration so we could reach out to the teachers to find out what is the matter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank, thank you very much, too. Teresa, you have a comment or you have a question? I see your hand up.
Good night, Miss Arzu and fellow teachers and parents. It's just a comment. Um, I am thankful and I give thanks to all teachers from BCS. I can compliment you for your hard work that you have been doing with our school. And I hope we as parents can get on board with you as well. So it's for the benefit of our children. And that's it. Let's work together
Amen.
as partners. Thank you.
And that's an excellent way to end this session. Thank you so very much. So I want to echo what Teresa just said. We are all on board. We have to work together as partners for the benefit of our children. So in closing, I give God thanks and praise for all of us. This has been a wonderful session. The turnout has been amazing. So thank you very much. Please complete the survey that Mr. Castellanos has placed in the chat so we could go ahead and schedule the training session for our parents so that you could be in a better position to assist the students. The all right, that's another link that he shared again just now. All right, so he
It's
just
the same link.
uh-huh.
And just in case if they
Okay.
didn't catch the first time, they have it the second time. And just as how we
Okay.
will do, once our students did not make it the first time, we're gonna catch them the second time wrong, so that they can make it to second farm or third to their third farm. We're never gonna give up on
Right.
our students.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cass, for saying that. So we're all on board and we're all in this together. So thank you very much for your support. We have shared our phone numbers. Reach out to us. We will liaise with you. We'll communicate with you, and we want to maintain this line of communication. So give God thanks and praise, even when things are not working in our favor. We still have to give Him thanks because He
Dice que
knows best.
en el Abacus van a poner todos los works que le faltan y tienen que hacerlo. Yo no tengo mi...
So good night, everyone. The meeting has ended. Have a restful rest of the evening. Thank you so very much. You're free to log out.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you
Thank
and good night.
you. And good
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good night.
The meeting went well. Yes. And that's why I close it off by saying, and we don't question the first time, we'll question the second time with our students. Some teachers are pretty upset though. They just say give 100. Yes. The one yes. The one with Miss Teresa Allah, she commented inconsistent internet. I think she forgot to said that also. In the chat, she said that her child has been trying to get in, but they can't get in constantly because of the internet is not good. So I recorded the session using OBS. As soon as everybody logs out, I will close it because apparently Microsoft Teams, whenever you delete something, it's never really deleted. Who have access to it is the administrator. So whatever you hide or delete out in Microsoft Office, it is still accessed by the administrators. No matter what you do there, he still have access to it. So my advice would be that we record it using OBS instead. Yes, I will take down the attendance right now. Download attendance list, that is being downloaded as well. and I'm going to tell you right now how much people we actually had. We had, okay, I have here the full, I think it was about 160 odd, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yes, at one point, yes, but some people were connecting and disconnecting, and I could see who were disconnecting and disconnecting from the report from Microsoft Teams. It says Joanna Rivers was connecting, disconnecting. Um, Ruby Pascasio connecting, disconnecting. Edwin Guzman connecting, disconnecting. Um, Kimari Bowden connecting, disconnecting. Noemi Martinez connecting, disconnecting. JD Casasola connecting, disconnecting. And so you have a lot of people who are connecting and disconnecting and consistently. And I don't think that was because they wanted to, but because of the internet. So these are the things which we need to keep in mind as teachers whenever we are looking at these things for our students. Are they really not connecting because they don't want to, or is it that the internet? So whenever I see something like this, I then text my student and ask them what happened, and so they would tell me, sir, I was being kicked out of the system. In respect to the people who were in the waiting room, I could not see anything. I went in there. I changed even to the to the settings and say no one be stopped at the lobby. Everyone accepts in, and even so, I did not see nobody getting afterwards. And it was not a situation of a limit. It was just that no one was connecting. So and people are still in there right now. I'm just waiting for them to log out, and I close up the OBS with a full recording, and I will do it the same way how I did the meeting for yesterday. I will submit it to YouTube on unlisted, so that nobody can find it, and then I will send you the link for the recording. But I won't. Yes, yes. And that's why I said make I do a quick survey, a very simple quick survey, and see what are their concerns. Some of them said, can you please give a second chance coming to assessments due in Moodle can be reopened back it to give chances to upload again. So I decided to see what all they wanted as other concerns. How do I log into Abacus? Um, just want to know if every student will be in school when school reopens, although COVID cases are down. We still must avoid crowded places. Thanks to all teachers for their hard work. And although some people are upset, I don't know. So for training, they said yes. Training on Moodle, 71% said yes. 28% said no. So I guess they're probably comfortable. And so I got that data from the survey. Only 46 people responded, so you can really, and that's why I said make I share the link again. Um, I'm not so sure if they're all of them computer literate, and that's an issue. So some of these kids might be not informing their parents properly, and so I said let me see if I could get their emails from these parents. So if anything, I will do a database on this and start to collect their information and see how we can get a much better contact with them, especially first and second farm. They have 4 years to go there. Some of them will be three, which will be for the second farm. So by having that data, we could start to develop a large bank of communication with these parents. Because I asked them for their number and email, so all that will be connected, and we could use that in the teams also. Whenever we have a meeting, they can get an invitation to their specific email, and make that the meeting only accepts if they were invited, so that we don't really have to see who all are really connecting into the meeting. But yes, it was a great turn up from what I see. I Well, I have told my three fourth farm classes to make sure they attend. It's very important, especially if you do not have a favorable grade. So make sure you attend, if possible, with your parents too. Very important for you guys, so you can meet graduation requirements if you feel that you're not meeting it at this point. And they said, yes, sir, we will. Even if I have to buy data, I will, sir. But some of these kids are struggling with data, and that's the reality. Yes. I think it will be too soon, miss. I think it will be best. It will be best in May, and if we could, will work, Yes. Yes. Yeah, because imagine 30 minutes by the time certain teachers walk from upstairs to downstairs. That's it. 30 minutes. So next issue. So my advice would be for if we could try get that scheduled before ending of April, so we could test run it and see if there are no clashes. Because if we begin with clashes, you will then hear a teacher say, "Oh, we did clash again." Right? Because that's how they find negativity, but no kind of solutions, no kind of proposal forward, right? But I think we are getting ahead, and I like the comments that the parents gave. And thank you, Dr. Zhu and Emma. They said that for doing all the help. So, like I said, it's going according to plan, and it's in the best interest for the students because I'm not saying that way. They're saying more extra. Just open the assessment and done. You don't really have to hat up your head in that, right? But they just find excuses and they use the word if this and if that, and if and not a word like him, candy, then every day would be Christmas. That is what I would tell them. But I said, okay, keep my patient because they just complain, and yes. Yes, because I think one of the concerns will be uniforms, right? And IDs, they're gonna bring that up also. Some people are gonna bring up IDs, uniforms, and how are we going to be checking them at the front? All sorts of things like those. Just basic questions. So nothing of this meeting, nothing of this meeting is being recorded in Teams. Only that people attended, and that's all. Nothing else. So no one can go into